Shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and this time I'll be reviewing issue 4 of Nuclear Family by Stephanie Phillips. And I must admit, this is another amazing issue to which I'm looking forward to sharing the cover rating, the art rating, and even the story rating with you, the viewer. So, first things first, let's jump right into the rating for the cover art. Now, for this cover art, does it in any way, shape, or form indicate something that actually happens within the story? Surprisingly, it does. And it's quite interesting as to how that comes across in the story once I get around to showing the internal art and the rating I give for it. To which I gave this cover art 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to turn into the internal art. Now this is some of the art around the beginning. I'm really surprised at the consistency as well with this story. Even though it does get the odd, not so good panel, the rest of the art is pretty good. This is some of the art around the middle of the story. And now I'll finally move to the end. And this is the end in regards to the art, or towards the end in regards to the art. If it's one thing, as I mentioned earlier, I actually enjoyed the art in this story, to which I gave the art in this story 8 out of 10. Now the fun part. What about the story rating itself? Now, starting off with the things that I enjoy in my storytelling, did we get any previous references to any of the previous issues? No, but it probably wouldn't have hurt, or even a small editor's note just to remind the reader where we are. But apart from that, did it ruin the rest of the story? Not really. I think it in some part improved on the story, and I would definitely be interested in getting the trade to this. What about time references? Did we actually get any time references? Surprisingly, no. It wouldn't hurt to include it, even in this issue, because we are set in, I think it's 1965, to which it wouldn't hurt to remind the reader that we are presently in that time period, especially if they're a first-time reader and they might not have access, say, to first, second, or third issue to know what's happening. But what about locations? Now, this is where Stephanie Phillips did a really good job in pointing out the locations within the story. Of course, we've got beneath Milwaukee, so in the underground. We had level 9, which was visited. We ended up passing and going into elevator B18. I've got one thing else there. Oh, level A city, that's it. That was the last thing I had recorded down. For the cast, we had the McLean family. So we had Robin, Henry, Roger, and of course the appearance of the governor, who's basically the guy we sort of like met in the second issue of the story. But he's going by the name of the governor in level 9. And the next issue, after this moves into the conclusion of the story. And the thing is, I sort of don't want this story to end. Unless it's the end of the first arc of this story, which I'd have no problem with, because I wouldn't mind checking out issue 6, issue 7. Now I'll jump into the rating of what I gave this story, because there was quite a bit happening in this story, because you got to see some of the experiments to which this underground military base was doing, including the dumping of bodies, sewage, and whatever else into sort of like more deeper underground to people who were basically treated as poor. I gave this story a rating of 8 out of 10. Thank you very much, Stephanie Phillips. I have been enjoying this story. Is there an issue 6? Is there an issue 7 coming out for this? I want to know. Don't let it be concluded on issue 5. Well, a big thanks. Oh, well, until then, if you've enjoyed this review, please don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's all free to do if you want to do those things. If you enjoy the content. And let's keep it colourful. If you've now made it to the end of this video, have yourself an awesome day.